welcome back to No Man's Land. I hope you're having an amazing day. I just thought this train behind me was kind of cool, and I actually wanted to see what the audio was like using a clip-on mic with a train. How does it sound? Does it still sound kind of usable? Let's get this angle down a little bit more. Today we're going to be going through some of the lens updates that were recently released on Nikon Rumours. We'll talk a little bit about the lenses and also what I think this could mean for the Nikon slate of releases of new camera bodies. Let's go! And you know, right now I'm shooting with a Pocket 2, and I guess in that subject, I've been really loving my recent pickup of the Mini 3 Pro. I've only gotten out to fly it a couple times so far. You know, first impressions, it's been great. Tomorrow I'll be doing an interview with Don Drones On. He's an awesome Canadian expert on drone laws. So we'll be grilling him, talking all about Alberta specifically, where you can and can't fly with the Mini 3 Pro, so stay tuned for that one. Also as well, I recently picked up these awesome BO Plate Bang & Olufsen portal headphones used. So far loving them. They were actually designed for gaming, specifically on the Xbox. I'm just using them for general work use as well as entertainment, and I'm loving them. And in the comments below, tell me if you guys would like to learn more about like my editing setup. I'm kind of an audiophile. If you guys want to learn a bit about the Bose speakers that I use for Bluetooth or these headphones, you know, I think that's an area that we could definitely explore on this channel. It's just not something I've done before. All right, now that we've made it to the coffee shop, we are good to go, and let's get ready to start talking a little bit about the lenses and Nikon Rumours. Again, Nikon Rumours, this isn't Nikon confirming, this has projected for 2023. We'll talk a little bit about the lenses themselves and what we think this might mean for future camera bodies that Nikon will be releasing maybe this year as well as into 2024. Man, that's a good coffee. All right, so we're on Nikon Rumours now. Let's have a look. All right, first lens that I'm seeing pop up here is the Nikon Z12-28 DX. Well, if you guys are new to Nikon, DX means crop sensor, meaning not full frame. So this could be for the ZFC, the Z6iii. All those cameras to me are very similar. 24mm DX lens again, so it's another one intended for crop. 26mm f2.8. This one doesn't specify DX, so I would lean to say that this is probably FX. I don't really know if there's much of a need for this one. If it's a 2.8, there's already a 24mm, so a 2mm difference. Like, I don't know, I don't really feel like there's a lot of value added there, but you know, that is what it is. Oh, this one's kind of cool. 35mm f1.2s. I used to have the 1.8s lens. I loved it so much. So I think that that's really cool that they're doing a 1.2. I think they'll get a lot of people interested. 35mm, at least to me, is very similar to what the human eye sees. So for video, it is great. So I'd love to see a 1.2. That would be awesome in low light. I mean, obviously for photos, a 1.2 is excellent, but you know, for video, I think it could also be awesome. And especially if it's got the same form factor and weight as the 1.8. An 85mm f1.2. We already talked about this one a little while back, but I think that's going to be a great lens for portrait shooters. There's a very high demand for 85mm prime glass, and at a 1.2, you're going to get a really nice bit of separation between your subject and the background. 135 f1.8, I think that sounds awesome. Then a 200 to 600mm f6.3 non-S. I don't know what that means, non-S. I think that also sounds awesome. Okay, so let's talk about what these lenses might mean for the Nikon lineup of camera bodies. Well, I think that it doesn't really push one way or the other in terms of there being a crop or full frame camera coming out this year. I think they're just trying to make sure they've got lens support for both their APS-C as well as full frame users, which is great. I came over from Fuji over to Nikon for the full frame experience, and you know, if I was gonna buy a crop sensor camera at this stage in the game, I would still stick with Fuji. But I would say out of the full frame lenses they've got lined up to come out this year, I think a lot of them are quite exciting. But again, doesn't really hint as to what Nikon's going to be doing this year for camera bodies. So maybe this is a good time for me to tell you what I would like to see Nikon come out with. Like, in a perfect world, as a video first shooter, the camera that I would love to see Nikon release. What would I look for in a camera? Let's first of all start by talking about the Z8. That's the camera that everyone's hoping is going to come out this year. It's not confirmed. We'll have to wait till February, I think. If it doesn't come out in February, I don't think it's going to happen. But that camera is looking like it's going to be probably a megapixel beast. It'll carry over some of the autofocus from the Z9, of course. It's not necessarily a camera that I would immediately buy. I think it's going to be really expensive. I think it's going to be right around $4,000 US at least. The high megapixel count is awesome, but as someone that's a hybrid shooter that's not doing print, it's not necessarily something that I need. So what I would love to see Nikon come out with this year is the Nikon Z6iii. I would want it to have 6K internal 10-bit recording up to 60 frames. Honestly, 30 frames would still be great. I would like to see it have a 26 megapixel stack sensor, and I would like to see it have the autofocus from the Z9, or at least some of it trickle down into it. I think if we had a combination of these things, it would be a great hybrid shooter for someone that shoots both photo and video with one camera, not two. And the price point that it would come in would probably be a lot more palatable than what the Z8 will, if it ends up coming out. They could price that right around $2,500 up to about $3,200 USD. I think that would be quite reasonable. I think Nikon could get a lot of hybrid shooters to come in on it, and to have a lot of Z6 shooters like myself upgrade to the Z6iii because of the improved autofocus. At this point, I don't think I would bother getting a Z6 II. I think it looks like a great camera, but with the autofocus from the Z9 not being incorporated into that camera because it was released quite a while ago, I just don't really see it as a compelling camera for myself. And comment below, tell me what you guys think. Do you think that these lenses that Nikon Rumours is predicting one camera over the other, or an APS-C camera? I don't know. To me, I don't think so, but maybe you think differently, and maybe you have more insight on this topic than I do. But anyways, folks, we'll wrap this one up here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember to take beautiful photos every single day. Don't do it for the views, do it for yourself. We'll see you guys in the next one very soon, and we'll be getting more into droning. Have a great one.